will be facilitated by CSI Associates Tuihana Oihea and Louise Mara. So I'm going to hand over now to Tuihana and Louise to take us through the session.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Tuihana Oihea hau, no Ngāti Pūkenga Ngāi Te Rangi no Te Arawa o ku iwi, no Ngā Pōtiki toku hapu. Kia ora whānau, lovely to meet you all. Yes, I'm an associate of Centre for Social Impact, and I feel very blessed and incredibly grateful to be here with you all. Hail, of course, from the beautiful place of Tauranga, Mount Maunganui and Rotorua. And yeah, it's the centre of the universe. What can I say? I'll now just quickly hand it over to Louise to introduce herself before we undertake our workshop. Kia ora.
Kia ora Tuihana and kia ora koutou. Nā toi rawa ko Pōtiki te whenua, nā tūhoi te rangatiratanga ko Louise Mara tuku ingoa. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Yeah, beautiful to be here. I was kind of feeling, you know, all the amazing mahi in this room and the fabric that this community value sector weaves for our country. So it feels just beautiful to be in this session of how do we nourish that fabric that we all weave together. So I feel really delighted to be here. Also an associate with the Centre for Social Impact and do a lot of mahi on collective, intergenerational and personal trauma and how we heal in the collectives. That's most of my mahi. So kia ora. Back to Tuihana.
Oh, kia ora koutou. So this series is we've called Ngā Here, and we just need to acknowledge a beautiful man by the name of Chas Doherty, who lives on the edge of the Whirinaki Forest, which is one of the oldest Indigenous forests in the world, and it's just as you enter Te Urewera. So it's way at the back of Murupara, and it's a beautiful place. But he kind of shared with me this, he said, you know Ngā Here, Bub, do you know Ngā Here? And I was like the forest. He said, well, Ngā Here is actually two words, and it's about the connectivity between us and Papatūānuku and all the atua that live within the forest, and our connection and how we're all one and how it's all interconnected. And given the recent kind of weather events and reminders from Papatūānuku, Mother Earth, and Ranganui, Sky Father, that we have these things that are going on around us that have really impacted Taiao, the environment, but therefore have impacted us as individuals, as whānau, as people of Aotearoa. And so it was really as part of this journey that we're about to undertake with you all, and we're very much looking forward to it. It's about just reminding us of that connectivity, of that hononga, of that connection to Mother Earth, to Sky Father, to all the atua around us, and also our deep connection to the Ngā Here, because without all the beautiful rākau, without all the beautiful trees that exist within the Ngā Here, we wouldn't have all this beautiful ha, and all this beautiful ha being your breath, and all this air in which to walk amongst each other. So just want to mihi to Chas for sharing this deep wisdom and knowledge. And it's really beautiful sometimes to sit with these people of great wisdom, great knowledge that just share with you so openly and freely. So, and we also want to mihi to the atua, to Papatūānuku and Ranganui that surround us each and every day. So yeah, we just wanted to take a moment to kind of frame that up, to explain the meaning of that. And please, if you've got any pārtai, we can answer those perhaps a bit later on in the session. But meanwhile, thank you for listening, and I hope that you gained some mātauranga, some knowledge from what we've just shared. And now I'm going to hand it over to the beautiful Louise. Kia ora.
Yeah, so we have this session to kind of take you through some experiences and some practices. But the Ngahere frames up our approach to this hikoi we're going to go on, which is really to practice together for the year. So we're going to make this very easy to help wire well-being and Māori order into the fabric we're all part of via your nervous system, your body. And the cool thing is you get to nourish yourself and the system you're in as you undertake this practice. So each month we're going to send out a new one, but I'm going to outline how it's going to work, and then we're kind of going to take you through it, because it's such a beautiful thing to do, to be able to start to wire this nourishment into yours and your organisations and our whole fabric of this community sector. So we're gifting to you what we're calling the 6x1 challenge. The 6x1 challenge is 6 times a day for 1 minute. That's only 6 minutes. 6 times a day for 1 minute that you pause and you do something that brings you joy, ease, and connectivity. I'm going to tell you soon about some of the science around that, of why that's vital that we do that. But I'll do that in a minute, but that's inherently what the challenge is 6 times a day for 1 minute to pause and to do something around joy, ease, and connectivity. And we're going to record very short audios, Tuihana and I, that actually help you do that. They'll be less than 2 minutes. So it might be slightly more than 1 minute. But you can do your own as well, but you can try ours. You can also share them with your team and do them together. And one of the things why we chose Ngahere is because wellness has often been a hyper-individual thing in the Orthodox world. And we don't believe that's true. That it's actually also something around the collective. We all live in a collective soup, and it's around our connectivity to the whole. So our approach to the series, if you like, of wellness and nourishing ha moments we're going to give you is around actually rewiring our connectivity to all of that which helps nourish us. So it's very cool, and I'm really excited, and I really want you all to do it. And having worked in this area of rewiring trauma for so long, I've really come to something so simple as 6x1, because it's doable and it's almost more effective than an hour's meditation, which most people won't do. These micro pauses are proven to be so powerful. So I just want to see if there's any initial responses in the chat to this challenge, like, oh yeah, that feels, and we're going to outline it more, but just some initial responses around, oh yeah, that feels doable, or I don't know how to do it, or anything that's there for you as we issue this wedo in a way into the space of that's what we'd really love this journey to be together. Oh, cool. Sounds good. Yeah. Great. Thanks, Melissa. And we want to make it so easy, and we want to stay in touch, and we want to hear, oh, great, we'd all accept it. Suggestions for reminders. Yeah, let's come on to that. Yeah, we don't stop much out here. We need to put some off ramps into the busy highways, or they're like trauma highways, and we need to get off them to replenish. Yeah, beautiful. So you can share this with your whānau, you can share this with your organisations. Most importantly, you just give it a go. And I have to tell you, is initially you'll probably fail. Like, we give permission not to be perfect, but to start and to give it a go, because even pausing for 6 times in this crazy busy world is quite a challenge. But we're going to make this good. Love seeing those comments. Yeah. Yeah, permission to fail. And love to hear about people's failures too, so that we can digest them. Yeah, doable. I think it is doable. And all our team are going to be doing it with you. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So let's just right here, right now, do a little pause. Let's do a little ha moment. Beautiful to see. We currently do this at the feet of Tāne Mahuta. Yeah. So I want you all just to kind of put your hands on your heart. When our mind kind of leads the way with its sort of busy freneticness, it can get so full. Just feel your hand on your heart. And I want you just to soften it. Soften your hand and soften your body. And I want you just to feel your heart for your own mahi. Wow, this is big work. You do. Sacred. So we honour that, and let's just honour that we're part of this beautiful fabric that we all weave together that holds a lot intact in our community. And that we do that from our hearts. And just feel what it would feel like if you really believe that nourishing you nourishes the system you work in, nourishes your family. Like, we were never separate. It's part of kind of the trauma we operate in. We are interconnected beings. You are kaitiaki of your own body field. Nourishing you helps nourish the nervous system of your family and your organisation. So let's right now just feel our feet. Just feel, in whatever way you do, the presence of Papatūānuku herself, a whole planet of support, really trying to nourish you. Just take some breaths, breathing in nourishment and breathing out some tension. Just releasing into your chair. It can hold you. Breathing in nourishment, breathing out some tension. And just softening again that hand to your heart. I can have a heart for my own nourishment to nourish the system. And I'm supported. You're going to be supported in this journey. And some of you may need to learn to turn on your receiving department also, just to receive support. Right now, just feel what it might feel like to open your body system to receive some support and nourishment. And just before I hand back to Tuihana, let's just take a look around and just see all these people that help build this wharaki, this mat, this fabric that helps hold our society together. Often not valued, often not supported enough, but here we all are. Just notice how you're not doing it on your own. Yeah, and my belief is if we all reconnect ourselves, resow ourselves back into the nourishment of the natural world, we build a much stronger connective tissue in the sector that helps it thrive. Not separated, struggling alone. So let's see how we go this year. And back to you, Tuihana.
Really lovely to know how you feel in the chat after that exercise that Louise has kindly taken us through. Be lovely to get some kōrero from you. So if you could share that, that would be beautiful. Thank you. Nourish, Karma.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, Melissa.
I felt emotional too. I think it's felt like my own tears come.
It's interesting because we're in the Maramataka, the Māori lunar calendar phase of Māori, and the atua is Papatūānuku, and it's Māori to Māori ora, so it's about strengthening relationships. And I think that it's beautiful that we're starting this kaupapa today in the Maramataka phase of Māori. And this evening we move into the next phase of Mutu Whenua. And it's around reflection and evaluation, and it's time to do practice, mindfulness and meditation. So isn't that beautiful that we're kind of transitioning from Māori into Mutu Whenua today? So, beautiful. Feels good to feel our hearts with our hands. Is it not, Raquel? It's beautiful. Thank you. So we're going to go through a number of approaches, and as Louise mentioned, we're going to be sharing a number of mātauranga with you. And we've got a little bit of a question already. Louise is correct that we don't receive enough and we'll give so much. Thank you for allowing us to receive. That's so true. And we've made this approach to well-being, our haora. And if you think about the word haora, it's actually two words that come together. Ho is the vital essence of us, and ora is your life, you know, your activation. So how do we actually look after the essence of ourselves and amongst some of the noise and the various rivers and the various things that we're threading through the day? So we are looking at ngahere and of course hononga around connection and some of the tools that we'll be using. And last year was really blessed and incredibly grateful for CSI, and we delivered and produced a series called Unu Ora. And Unu Ora is to kind of lift us, to heke our wairoa, you know, to lift us. And Ora, of course, is our well-being. So we're going to be going through and sharing some teachings around Unu Ora. And because we're going to begin with ourselves, which is Koi. But before I get into that practice, and it's easy to kind of race ahead with that practice, I think it would be really cool for Louise and I to share how we're threading this all together. And Louise, you might want to talk a little bit more on NS and the nervous system. Kia ora.
Yeah, so the approach I've taken to the harm moments I'm going to give you is definitely a reconnection, resewing one. I work a lot with the nervous system all around the world because everyone has one, and it kind of operates in a really similar way. And one of the really important things about understanding our nervous system and the collective nervous system is that there's a really optimal place for humans to operate from. And that, you know, that place is very non-traumatized, non-competitive, non-activated or triggered. It's very curious, open. I'm so happy being me that I get very curious about tuihana, because I'm not trying to be tuihana, I'm just trying to be me. It's where our rongoa, our medicine, really gets turned on, but not in an effortful way, but in a really connected way. When we're connected to Papatuanuku and the Asawa, there's no way we need to make our own effort in the same way. But our human efforting leads to a lot of exhaustion. So this place in the nervous system is called the ventral vagal. You don't need to remember that place. You just need to remember your essential place. And when I put your hand on your heart, that's to connect to that. And that's what a lot of these harm moments will be. Whereas when we're in the sympathetic state, and I'll show you a picture of this soon and we can send it out to you, but when we're in a sympathetic state, we're actually in a self-healing process where something's triggered trying to be healed. And that's often our trauma. And humans have made triggers a bad thing, but they're not. It's only a bad thing if you blame others for them. They're actually our self-healing mechanism. So some of the process I'm going to give you will also help actually integrate those things rather than kind of trauma bomb others. We're just going to integrate them. It's quite a deep practice, but we never want to come from our trauma because we're not our trauma. We're at this essential place. We just have it. You have yours, I have mine, believe me. And it's a bit of a lifetime process of integration of it and softening to it. And then we have the numb part of us. That's an amazing part that kind of freezes and stores and numbs things out until we can work with them. In the collective numbing has been quite a problem, but slowly I think the collective nervous system's turning on. So part of this challenge is that you help rewire your nervous system back into a place of heart order and that of your organisation and your team. Because we can wind up all day. And if I wind up all day, I'm in a very unessential place. I'm contracted, I'm stressed, I'm pressured. I'm not connected to life. I'm in that trauma vortex. It's too hard. So what this 6x1 is to do is 6 times a day that you remember, I can reconnect and relax. I can reconnect and relax. We'd love in the second half to give you some processes for your teams, but you can even teams practicing beginning of meetings, and we need everyone to come from this essential place. So that's why we're just going to rewire, and your whole nervous system just goes yay. But you also have access to the nourishment of te taio. You know, you have access to that, but you also come into an optimal part of your brain and body. When we're in stress, we're in fight, flight, like, ah! I was in that yesterday. I'm not in it today, but I was yesterday. And to keep doing lots of pausing. So then we wire in this essential place in a very powerful but simple way. So I really want to inspire you to give it a go. And it also helps us know ourselves not as trauma, as this essential, sacred being that has some trauma charges. Make sense? Great. Yeah, any questions for me or Tuihana about our approach? Any questions before we run we're going to, run a little session for you so you see what sort of moments you're going to get as these audios, and we're sending them as audios so you can just listen. But it doesn't mean you can't do your own. You may well have your own to do, and that's, yeah, ka pai too.
And if I can just say that Unu Ora it's a journey of, because we often forget about our haora, we forget about our well-being, we kind of park it. And so Unu Ora gives us the space to start with ourselves, but then also consider our tūpuna, our ancestors, our whānau. But we really, essentially we start with us, because we have some internal reflection, because sometimes within all the noise of things, we've kind of parked it and kind of left it to the side because we're so busy putting others before ourselves. And it's a kind of about recentering that focus to put ourselves first or at the center versus everyone else. So it can be a little challenging, but, with the use of whakataiki, of inspirational sayings. And as Louise said, also thinking about rongoa, and what are the beautiful things that we have within or around us that help, that kind of work for us in terms of our practices of haora. These are the things that we're going to consider as we journey our way and navigate our way through this series. So, and I think with the audios, it gives us the space, there's to just listen to something quickly and reflect again and have those things that, add to our kite, that add to our basket of some practices that we may already have within ourselves. So, yeah. Any questions or pārtai from any of you would be lovely.
And I forgot to share, while you're thinking of your questions, put them in, I'll just share that nervous system picture for you that you'll get access to as well. It's exactly what I just showed you, but it's helpful to see it. Yeah, so this ventral vagal, this green zone, I like to call it, is this place we're going to be rewiring right down the bottom, where we're connected to the web of life. It's highly creative. It wires so much into you, your whānau, your system. So it's what we need to reclaim. The sympathetic is when we're in contraction, fight, flight, fear. And then the dorsal vagal is where we get very self-critical. We shut down and we can't really move, or we just numb out. None of these, all of these are intelligent within your system. If we didn't have the dorsal numb out, we wouldn't be able to go to sleep. Can't go to sleep in the yellow zone, which is why a lot of people have sleep problems. So we're wiring this bottom zone back into our own system, and I really want to let you know you can really do that, and back into the systems you're in, and back into this community fabric we all weave. Yeah, questions? Yeah. You can unmute if you would like to have a question, or put it in the chat, because I know we're recording. For some people that's not good. And maybe, Tuihana, just before we start again, before I pass to you for a aha moment, I'll just show people what they're going to get.
Okay.
Share. Yeah, so you're also going to get our audio, and you're going to get these beautiful cards, or, you know, they'll be on the website. Chloe will explain, that explains it. So you won't be left in confusion as we around each aha moment. So this is the one that Tuihana is going to take you through now, and then I'm going to take you through this one today.
Kia ora, Louise. Okay. There's a beautiful whakataiki. Poi a te kākano kia pōwai ai. So nurture the seed and it will bloom. And we need love and care to nurture and realise our potential. And I often sing this waiata, which I believe accompanies this whakataiki. He kākano ahau, I rui a mai, I rangi a te a. 'Cause I can never be lost, I am a seed, born of greatness, descended from a line of chiefs. He kākano ahau. It's just to remind us all that we're all seeds born of greatness. We all share different whakapapa, but that comes from our tūpuna of our ancestors, reminding us that we are kākano, that we are seeds all born of greatness. And you can share that with your families, and you can share that in all the organisations. It's actually a whakatauki that has been interpreted into a waiata, and it just, the vibration of that waiata and the deeper meaning of that waiata, I hope that you can feel it through your tinana and through your wairua. And the reason I share that whakatauki and the reason I share that waiata is because, you know, our haura, our well-being, it begins with koau. It begins with us. And we all share and we all have beautiful pumanawa or superpowers. And pukinga are our skills. I'm trying to think of the translation. So if I put Māori into my English and you're like, okay, Tuihana, I'm not quite sure what that kupu means, please just stop me and ask the pātai the question, or put it in the chat. But as I said, sometimes, June, all this noise and all the, you know, and I love the way that Louise explains it with all these various rivers, that sometimes it can get really tumultuous and sometimes it can be very noisy. And there's other times that it's peaceful. But sometimes through all this noise of our lives, we've misplaced, or kind of, where's the awesomeness of us? You know, and sometimes we feel this disconnection. And we were talking actually just last week about, what are your pūmanawa? And I think I've learned that one of my pūmanawa is the ability to hold these spaces and to be able to share this kōrero and this matauranga with you, which has really come from many others that lived before me and will come after me and live with me in this time. And also, great, although I need to prove this to a few people. When I say prove it, I need to actually make them, is that I'm fabulous at making cream puffs. And that's actually something my mother was great at and my grandmother was great at. And I often think of the wisdom that's come through, and that's through my Kizik family, and then through my Oihia whānau. Koro was he was a great orator. Shared all this beautiful whai kōrero and matauranga. So I just wanted us to take a moment to do a bit of a reflective internal practice with ourselves and just pause for a moment. So this is another ha moment. Pause and really reflect, consider and acknowledge our pūmanawa. And feel into and know what our pūmanawa are, because by doing this, we're reigniting, we're actually nurturing our haura. And we don't want to be whakama about this. We don't want to be shy about this. So we want to put it out there, sing it to the world, let it shine. So I'm asking each of you, and if you've got pen and paper in front of you, and maybe you do, maybe you don't, but as part of the rongo of practice, is as things come to you, is to write them down. And I would encourage you to write them down in places and spaces where you're going to see them, where you're going to visually see them, because it's not just about seeing them, by the way, it's about feeling them. It's about feeling into your pūmanawa. And it's been unashamedly, these are what my pūmanawa are. So, and the word pūmanawa has the word manawa in it, which is heart. Does this mean strengths? Pūkenga, thank you for your pātai. Pūkenga is around your skills. So if I think about so I'm Ngāti Pūkenga, and Ngāti Pūkenga were skilled mercenaries, and we fought for many iwi across the motu. And so Pūkenga, we had the skill of combat, of fighting. Now when I think about Pūkenga within Ngāti Pūkenga, there's quite a lot of intelligence and intellectuals that come from that space of Ngāti Pūkenga now. So we've shifted from, combat into a different kind of combat, in terms of we now work in the space of servitude, of giving to others. I hope that makes sense, Lena. Yeah? I can see your beautiful smile. But I'd just love you to take a moment to reflect onto your pūmanawa. And then perhaps we may want to share one or two of our pūmanawa. It's also about coming from a place of kia tautiranga Māori e, which is peace, love and harmony. So being at peace and at love with your pūmanawa. Yeah? So my other pūmanawa is, if you ever meet me in person, I'm going to come at you and hug you, but there's an ability to draw people in. Right? My grandfather, a bit of charisma there, I would say. It's a bit of charisma. And if you're struggling with, or you're just thinking, oh, there's a bit of noise in my, my hininaro, or my thoughts and my brain, is just to take a ha, so to breathe through that and actually reflect on your pūmanawa. So is there anyone that would like to share just quickly their pūmanawa? I can see people deep in thought. Anyone? Maybe you'd like to put it in the chat. That'd be lovely. Oh, beautiful, Lena. Thank you. Anyone? I can see Nikki De La Rosa. I can see Rachel. I can see Marion. I can see Melissa. I can see Emily and Laura and Raquel. I can see Donald. I can see Stephanie, Rosemary. I can see beautiful Auntie from the New Zealand Sikh Women's Association. I can see Nellie. I can see Susan. And I can see many names. I know this is a little uncomfortable. You don't need to share out loud, Melissa. You can just put it in the chat. Lisa, appreciating what's on my doorstep in Te Paeao. Beautiful.
I don't mind talking. Sorry, I'll try not to ruin your nice calm that you've created because I talk very quickly. But I guess for me, it's just looking back at just a real strong, through my generations, a strong social conscience and advocacy. Like it's just been through my generations, but something once I have the sort of chance, which I need to stop and go on, is my reconnection to my Māori side, because I really do want to know, like, so I'm Ngāti Kahu, like what was our whānau tupuna strengths as an iwi, because I'd be really interested if there was a strong vein of like manaakitanga, which I know is in Māoridom anyway, but now you sort of said that about, you know, your iwi, I'm really interested in that side because I've always felt very Māori, but I was raised in quite a Pākehā whānau, but then I've had this strong sense of fighting for our Māori people through our mahi, so I'm just trying to understand what that is, but that's my journey. Kia ora.
Beautiful. Thank you. Marion, I experience myself as being connected in a way that I am an agent of change. Laura, taking strength from the environment. Rachel, one of my pūmanawa was to make meals that connect and share, show care, yelling away. My dad used to do the same thing in his big family from the Philippines. And it's interesting that you bring up Kai, because Kai is such a connector for so many of us, you know, for so many of us. And Melissa, I just want to mihi to you and your journey of that rediscovery. You know, when I think about my McKissick family, they're very giving, they're very loving. And I think that that's the true pūmanawa of the McKissick family. And the Oihia family, we really are a family of acts of service to others. So yeah, it's beautiful to know those strands that come through from our tupuna, our ancestors. I love that, seeking new horizons. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you all so much for sharing. And I'm now going to hand it over to Louise. And unless there's anyone else that would like to share, but thank you all for the space. And I know there's probably still some reflection going on, and we would encourage you, you know, you don't have to have an answer here in this moment, but to take those ha moments during the day and really do some reflection on your pūmanawa, because our haura, our well-being does begin with us. Kia ora whānau, over to Louise.
Thanks, Tuihana. Yeah, so I'm going to run one of my ha moments, and it's kind of linked again to the nervous system that I talked to you about. And the little quote that I've got that you'll see is that one of the reasons I fell in love with and trained in understanding the nervous system is it's the science of falling in love with life. Isn't that beautiful? So it's the science of feeling safe enough to fall in love with life. Because so often, because we don't feel safe, we can't really love, be nourished by life. So my ha moments are really based on helping you fall back in love with yourself as a sacred part of life, your pūmanawa, your gifts and purpose, and with life itself, which is always in relationship with you. The flow of life comes through Papatūānuku, Te Ao Marama. So it's such a beautiful thing just to think about this first, is that the sun doesn't rise going, who shall I shine on today and who won't I? Who deserves it? The sun doesn't do that. The sun just shines for you. You don't have to deserve or earn to breathe in. The air doesn't go, I'm not going to be available today. Every breath can be a nourishing one. It's their gifts, so much gifting to connect and re-nourish. So my ha moment is really based on reconnecting, re-resourcing yourself. So just close your eyes if it feels right. If it doesn't, you can keep them open, of course. And I'll take you through a very short ha moment that I've recorded and you will get. So just feel how you feel right now, the state of your modi. And I always feel myself in layers. What's in my body, my tinana? What's happening in my emotional and mental field, my hininaro? And then just feel that right now you can give yourself the gift of pleasurable relaxation, like you're just receiving in this call. We don't need anything from you. So you can just, in this moment, I can just kind of ease off the brake a little. And I want you just to feel again, you can put your hand on your heart or just feel into your heart. I love my hand on my heart. It reminds me to soften to myself. And it can do a lot of rewiring, just that, when my hand goes to my heart, I soften. The work was never to harden up. It's to soften. And I want you now to think of a happy place. What's a resource, a place, or something that just is a taonga for you? It helps you feel some joy, some peace. I have a particular beach that as soon as I connect to it, I just feel nourished. Like, what's that for you? Could be an awa, a river, a moana, an ocean, part of the whenua, a tree. I work a lot with trees. We're going to work with trees. Just feel that you bring that very close and you feel your connection with it. Actually, it's love that connects you. You might feel your love for it. And breathe in its special magic, its special rongoa. Just release a little bit of tension as you breathe out. So take some breath. I breathe in the magic of that place or tree, or could be an ancestor. I breathe out some stress. Imagine if you did this 6 times a day. That's what we're going to be asking. Just notice how that feels, just to exchange the nourishment of this place. And let it receive some of your stress. The earth knows how to ground it, turn it into soil. It's part of her gift. You can even do a ha. We really have to learn to give ourselves, our bodies, some ease, connection. And then let's take a few breaths of just exchanging your goodness, your pumanawa, with that place, that part of the sacred body of the earth. We are actually part of that too. Just breathe out your goodness and breathe in the magic of that place and breathe out your magic. Just for some breaths and feel what that feels like. Exchanging magic. You don't have to earn the magic of the sun. You can't earn the magic of the air. It's there as gift, just as the magic of your place is. It's a trauma that thinks we don't deserve it. It's not true. Just feel what that feels like now to have exchanged some tension for magic and exchanged our magic with the magic of that place. Yeah, I love to hear or see in the chat how that feels, and any questions, because this is my ha moment that I've recorded, a little shorter, but we're giving you context today, and that we'll send out just to help you 6 times a day replenish, re-nourish, reconnect. That's part of your mahi. You don't want to be stingy with your own system or that of your whānau or your organisation. So we're going to breathe this into it. Relaxed and sleepy. Thanks, Melissa. Are they making sense, these ha moments? Is it starting to go, this is what we're going to be doing? Yeah, slowing down. Thanks, Lena. Feeling alive. Breathing is good. And it's so cool to imagine as you breathe in, you're breathing in that gift. Don't have to give, you naturally give back your breath too. Any other experiences or questions? Felt hungry. Sometimes we start to feel sleepy and hungry because when we come into the body, we can feel more what it needs. Yeah, permission to take a moment and breathe. Everyone in your workplaces needs that permission. And it does more than less. We feel like keeping going does more. It doesn't. Reconnecting, replenishing. A doodle, yeah. A minute isn't long. I dance a lot in my minutes. We're going to send you a dancing minute, but I often never take a minute. But the minute feels doable. But if you take 2 minutes, kei te pai. Yeah, so true. Hunger. I love the idea of breathing in and out as a transaction, yeah, and a relationship. Yeah, brain is happy with me. Taking the time to do this. We so need to do this to be the best we can and serve others. Yeah, breathing. If we see it as re-nourishing, man, it does a lot. Intent does a lot. Connecting to your breath as a nourishing practice versus just unconsciously breathing. It's a whole different layer of medicine. Thanks, Rashi. And you don't need to go into feeling guilty. You don't need to go into beating yourself up about, I should be doing this, I should have done this. We all need to stop shoulding ourselves, because it freezes us. It puts us in the freeze and out of this essential place. We can just go, wow, I'm going to give this a go. As someone said earlier, we're all accepted. And I'm probably going to fail, but I'm going to keep giving it a go until these moments are wired into my system. Yeah, any other questions? Because we'll pass to Rihanna and I just here. I don't want you to get off the call and then feel confused. Like, what am I doing? Relaxing, feet in the water on the beach. Yeah, beautiful. Das out. Yeah. Thanks, Lara Devlin. Yeah, no questions. Everyone knows what the challenge is, what's going to happen. Does it feel exciting? Like, yay! I often say to people I work with, I'm going to give you some terrible homework. It's horrible. You're going to have to put joy and ease into your system. Like, how terrible is that? Yeah, there's a part in us that resists it. It is part of that trauma ego shell that resists it. So we need to kind of push past that a little bit. And also that we're separate beings doing it on our own. Important you see that we're a community of practice doing it together. Yeah, cool, Marion. Some of the practices are going to invite you to go outside if you can. And it is so cool, just even if 6 times a day you walk outside and put your feet on the earth and stand next to a tree. I'm going to talk to you about trees. I've just written and published a book about connecting to trees as a wellness process for us all. But man, they do so much for us. And actually, I just remembered that book's on sale today and tomorrow, just for 2 days, if you want it. Yeah, so back to Chloe.
Could I just add a little something?
Yeah, go to
Is that okay? I just wanted to, someone in the chat put around how, seed is born in darkness and comes into the light. And within Te Ao Māori, we have Te Ao Marama and we have Te Pō. So there's moments of darkness. And in those moments of darkness is actually when we, sometimes it's where we really don't want to sit and we really don't want to be. But from those moments of darkness comes growth. And from those moments of darkness can come a lot of learning. So, and then we come into Te Ao Marama, which is this space of light and growth. So I just love that somebody, and I just wanted to acknowledge that comment that was put in the chat, because yes, the seed, like all of us, we begin in these places of darkness and we grow into these places of light. And I just thought that given what Louise and I have just been talking about, it just gives us, it just gives us some context as well. And sometimes we move in and out from Te Po into Te Ao Marama, depending on what life gives us and gifts us and resources us with. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Kia ora, over to you, Chloe.
Oh, kia ora, thank you. It's one of the risks of doing the workshop with you. I'm totally relaxed, but now I need to tell you a few things about how this is all going to work and to, share the process out with you in a little bit. So Tuihana and Louise have done a beautiful job this morning of framing Ngā Haere and taking you through and introducing the Wero, or the 6x1 challenge, and giving the first two of the ha moments. So what we will do, not after this session this afternoon, but tomorrow, is we will email everyone, and you will get that information around, and Louise shared one of the ha moments, so you'll have the information around the 6x1 challenge, the first two ha moments that were shared this morning. Also a link to an audio clip. So we have a minute or 2 minutes from both Tuihana and Louise on instructions for how to do this. And we also have a video of them talking, Louise and Tuihana talking about both of them. So, and our intention as we go on this journey is to share two ha moments every month for the next 3 months. So what we want to be able to do is let you digest and practice and fail and then try again and just play with it. And we'd like to then invite you all back to a further session in July, because we'd like to know how it's landed for you. And we'd like to know what things you've added, or where you found change or movement, or how it felt to go through the challenge. So that's the process, and we're journeying as well, so we'll do our best to work with you and give you the information as we go through. Again, you can always email anyone around that. What I am also going to do now is ask Michelle to pop a survey link in. So I'm going to do this quickly now so that you can actually do it, which is to provide some feedback on the session. So that's more broadly on the session. In terms of the 6x1, wait for our email. We're going to try and find a way to put it up on our website. We've designed them specifically so they can be shared out. We will be encouraging people to use them with your team. Start your team with a ha moment, team meeting. I'm going to try and get my 8 and 11-year-old to do them with me, because I think it's great for kids to be able to learn to feel into this space too. They've got busy nervous systems as well. So I think that's everything I need to say before I hand back to Tuihana, who's going to close us off with the karakia. But before we do that, if there are any questions, pop them in the chat, email through. I'm totally going to go and get a cup of tea and a biscuit after this, because I think everyone's earned that, and it's almost morning tea. So back to you, Tuihana.
Thank you, Chloe. E mihi ana ki a tātou. Thank you for making the time for you today. And yes, you could share many of the things that we've shared with you today as part of your team. And I think there's some really great feedback. Lena asked a really good partai around, how do I do this in a team where they feel like they don't have time, and there were other suggestions from other people within the rōpū. So it's really beautiful to see everybody sharing. And I think we all need to take those moments to give back to ourselves, but also by giving back to ourselves, we're thinking of ways that we can give back to the spaces in which we work and the whānau that we love and cherish and look after. So kia ora, thank you for your time today. I will now finish us with karakia. E noi tātou. Haura mai runga, haura mai raro, haura mai roto, haura mai waho. Haura te pūtaki o tēnei kaupapa kia pūrangi aho tātou I te wānanga me te kōrero. Tēnei te titi ake te pauhaura ki te pūtaki o tēnei kaupapa. Tuturu o whiti whakamaua kia tīna, tīna, haumie, huie, tai kiwe. Go well, be safe, and we look forward to seeing you again. Ka kite.